Greetings and salutations, Second Star Right, back with more Raid Shadow Legends, and today we'll be going over Magus. Magus. Yes, that is the correct pronunciation of this champion, Magus. Now, I've been watching The Order a little bit, not because it's a good show, but because it has Catherine Isabel in it, and being a huge Ginger Snaps fan, I will watch anything with Catherine Isabel in it. But I could have sworn they were pronouncing it Magus. And I was like, that's not right. It's not haggis or maggots or worse, haggis full of maggots. It's magus. It's not magus, which sounds like it could be better, but it's magus. Look, I researched this as much as I possibly could. Magus is the way to say it. So I'm training myself. That's why I'm saying it so much. I'm actually training myself how to say it properly because I was all over the place with it. Magus. Magus is a rare from the Night Revenant faction, and she's a very useful champion. I had a subscriber who kept saying, hey, I keep asking you to read this champion and you're not doing it. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I have adult ADD. I can't keep track of everything in my life right now. So I pulled it together just enough to finish reviewing the champion. And man, I gotta say, the sub was right. This is a really, really solid champion. When you're first coming up, you're free to play, you need a good all-around champion. Magus can serve you well. So let's go over her skills, alright? So first off, Paralyze. 25% base chance for stun, but you can book that or duplicate copy this champion up to 50% stun on A1. The 50% stun at A1 is nothing to sneeze at. It's a really good A1. Toxin is A2. It's an AoE poison, and it's a 75% chance natively, and it's the big version of poison. So you can put a 5% poison on all your opponents with a 100% chance if you book it, and down from 4 turns to 3 turns. If you fully booked with just 4 books, great deal. And it's 75% chance is a good percentage. So if you're just starting out, you don't have to feel necessarily the need to try to completely book this champion. She does work pretty well unbooked, but getting that extra 25%, doubling your chance to stun in the A1 is totally worth it, and then not worrying about missing a toxin on your A2 is also worth it. So that's kind of cool. Her A3, Vitality Theft, another really good skill. It's on a native 6-turn cooldown that, with the application of 5 books, can get you down to 4 turns, right? It attacks all enemies, then heals the champion, and the amount by the champion's healed is equal to the damage inflicted. So it's not like a percentage of the damage, it's not whatever, it's just however much damage you do, that's how much you get back. It's a pretty awesome skill. And top that off with a 16% arena battles speed buff, speed aura. Not a bad champion at all, man. Going up, a lot of versatility. She's good in all the potion keeps. She's good in almost all the dungeons. She's good coming up in Spider. Her ability in Spider drops off pretty significantly in the later stages, but starting out, she can keep herself healed. She has some great self-sustain in Spider. Not bad at all. There's a couple different ways that I built her. I tried one way, then I tried the way that my subscriber said that you should really do it. So that's how she's built right now. She's in a Toxic set, doubling down on Toxin. I'm a big fan of building champions that way. You find out what they're good at and you do more of it, right? I did the same thing with Corpse Collector when I did the review on that champion. I felt that the best way to maximize her abilities was to double down on Poison. Magus, same thing. I think that the sub's right, putting her in a Toxic set was beneficial. I did it both ways, and I'll show you the other way I built her. You know what? Let's just go over this one first, and then we'll come back to the other one. Okay, so 21-4 as her hit points. It's just low, but she has a self-sustain skill, so we can kind of get away with that. We're pushing 2,000 attack. I like to have 2,000 attack on my level 50 champions, but it's okay because she's actually built more to apply poisons than just dealing straight damage, so I feel that's okay. 1200 defense, 150 speed. Of course, this all just depends on your team composition, what speed your champion's supposed to be at. Crit rate is low, but I was using Luthia with a 30% crit aura in dungeons as a lead, so I figured that I can get away with that. So it actually makes it like a a much better percentage. Crit damage 110, and I did do the first 2 tiers of masteries to get the additional accuracy and crit damage, 60 resist, whatever. And then 99 accuracy. You want more accuracy than that. Where I took the champion, the dungeons I took them in is fine, but again, accuracy is an undervalued stat. You should really kind of maximize your accuracy as much as you can. But then also think about the content you're doing. If you're only doing low level dungeons, you don't really need to worry about it as much. Okay, so let's look at another way to build this champion. If I can find it, here we go. So this is her in crit, divine speed, and immortal. That's just a little bit more sustained, so we have a little bit of a shield, a little bit more speed, some health coming back to us every turn. I got the damage bling, so this was like a more of a damage build, even though ironically her total stats for damage are less, so she has like a 400 less attack, a bit more hit points, because I was building more crit rate and more crit damage, so she's going to be critting every single time with this build. So it actually kind of all comes out in the wash, as far as the damage is being dealt from weaponry, but you see that in the toxic set she actually performs much better overall. So this is her in her damage set. Right, you can kind of see the kind of stuff she puts out. It's not too shabby. There she goes. Nice 30,000 hit to suck up all those hit points back to her. She's in a team composition with Santa. Luthia is leading. Her, I guess, sister in arms there, Doom Priest, is there for some cleanses and some heals. And Apothecary there is for speed and heals, of course. Excuse me, there's a frog in the throat. Okay, so. This is a pretty solid team comp. We didn't have any problems getting through this at all. Luthia, of course, will eventually die. She's kind of squishy. She's not totally built yet. I'm working on her slowly. She's just here for the crit aura, right? But let's see what happens in the end. I think I actually have this, so we know how she actually did in the end. And that is, here we go. So she did almost 400,000 damage, which is solid. You see, she lapped everybody else by many times. But the whole run took 4 minutes. That's a little bit on the long side. All right, so let's compare it with what she did here in her toxic set. Now you'll see a much more judicious application of poisons on this run. And she did a nice vitality theft there too, because her attack is actually a little bit higher in this set, just because I kind of had better gear. But what's interesting is that she can put in now the multiple versions of the poison, right? Because she has the big version on her A2, and then just built into her damage dealing abilities is the low version. You see the Raider there, she had both versions. I think that she puts another version on this. Yeah, her Vitality Theft actually put the low versions on those champions as well. So she can stack different versions of the poisons on there, which adds up over the course of a fight. Don't disregard the amount of damage that poisons can do in these dungeons. It's actually really impressive, and being able to stack that here and there with her airborne toxic events is pretty inspiring. And the really solid self-sustain here. The problem, of course, is when she gets a heal down, it shuts it down completely. It makes her very vulnerable. But because Luthia is here, and Luthia usually has less damage, Luthia ends up being targeted more. So it all works out in the end. In fact, speaking of the end, here's the end. It took a whole minute, a minute and 1 second, actually, a minute less than the previous run. And she did less damage, of course, but she packed more damage into less time, right? So I definitely think that my subscriber's right. The Toxic set is probably the way to go for Magus. Now, as good as this champion is, in these lower level dungeons, and again, farming level 13 dungeons is what you want to be doing as you're free to play or just starting whatever. You want to do that because that's where the first ability to get 6-star gear is at that level. So you really want to have a team composition, some champions that can help you succeed there, right? So, Magus is excellent in that regard. However, you want to be like maximizing your resources, right? When you're just coming up, And here is a problem. So here I took her in Clan Boss, right? And this is the second time I went through. I took her in. I took all my level 60s, like my good actual real Clan Boss team, and I just swapped out Kale. I have a kind of an end game Kale that I use, and I put her in Kale's spot, and she performed very well, but something seemed off, right? And it was hard for me to tell what the problem was because I have Vizier Ovelis on that team, and so all of her poison debuffs were were all like 16 turns long. It was crazy. But so even though there was like 8 poison debuffs up there, they were all the small version. And I was like, why are they all the small version? She has an A2 with the big poison versions. We should be extending those, not just have a row of mediocre, low damage poisons. So I said maybe the problem is that she's in a team that's full of 60s. I don't know. I had no idea what the problem could be. So I dropped her down a level. I think this is brutal. I don't remember which one this is, but so I put in a whole different team. The only 60 I have in here is Valkyrie, for the shield. So hopefully make the run last a bit longer. But as you can see, she's only doing her A1. I had to go in and do her Toxin, her A2 manually. She was not doing it. I couldn't believe it. I would take it off auto, and I would watch what she do, and all of her skills are available. I take it off auto, and she just auto attacks. I'm like, well, that's odd. Why would you do that, Magus? That's a stupid thing to do when you have, the big version of poison. Why don't you use that? She would not do it. Her health got low. She wouldn't use her vitality skill. She has a self-sustain, and she's not using it. It was driving me crazy. So, and I would do it. Her turn would come around, health would drop a bit low. I'd take it off auto, and I'd make her use her vitality, and she'd heal to full. It was great, The skill worked, but she wasn't using it. She, for some reason, in Clan Boss, and maybe this is a patch 2.2 thing. It just dropped yesterday or the day before, wherever we are in this crazy world, this week. Basically, this is maybe this is a patch 2.2 problem. Maybe Magus, and correct me if someone has been using Magus forever, and is just watching this video for some bias confirmation, right? I do that. I like this champion. I want to watch this video, see if this person likes it as much as I do, right? I do that. I'm sure a lot of people do. Anyway, if you're using Magus, you're like, no, she uses her skills just fine. Check again. Maybe this is a patch 2.2 thing where she just got broken somehow. I don't know. See, I think here, do I use Vitality? No, I poisoned again. Anyway, she's not doing it. She's only auto-attacking on a Clan Boss. What a waste. You have poison, you have self-sustain, and you're only going to auto-attack? It's the height of idiocy. It's nuts. I don't know what happened, but Vitality? You need Vitality? Come on, let's heal up. Look at that. Beautiful, right? And she's not doing it, and I don't get it, right? So, a free-to-play person who's coming up and you want to maximize all of your champions, you want to make sure that you can use the champions you have in all the content, you might not want to invest in Magus right now because she's only auto-attacking Clan Boss, which is moronic. It is, sometimes this game makes me go like this, right? It makes me just go, why do you do the things that you do? So, again, but maybe it's a patch 2.2 thing. Maybe they're working on it. Maybe they know. I don't know. But it's just, no good. See, she did about 1 million, in her 420 run here. I don't know. She could do so much better if she could just use her other skills, and she's not. It's driving me crazy. But anyway, that's Magus. What do you guys think? I think that she has plenty of utility in early game, working up to mid game. You're working on your 6-star gear, you're getting through your dungeons. She can take on those, even the level 15 potion keeps. She's super helpful there. I like Magus, but I don't like that she's useless on Clan Boss. That's like an insult, right? So, other than that, though, great, guys. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Is Magus always been broken, or is this a new thing, right? Let me know in the comments. Throw me a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you out there in Teleria fighting the good fight. All right, take care, guys. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time. All right, bye.